Well, welcome. Let's dissect that, shall we? Young Boys 2, Manchester United 1. We actually lost that game right at the end, too. Jesse Lingard came on, and yeah, he helped us do what we set out to do once our Misaka was sent out after 35 minutes, which is lose that game. That's what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer set out to do with his tactics. Took off Sancho, who was having a below average game. Of course, I will be doing my player ratings after that. Catch that later. Took off Sancho and brought on who did he bring on? I'm struggling. Dallo and in the first half, and then at halftime he took off Donny van de Beek and brought on Varane. So we played 5 at the back. Really, we played 5 at the back because we didn't attack. We did not have a single shot in the second half. So we played 5 at the back against Young Boys because we got a red card. Because that's justification. Getting a red card is enough to decide that we don't want to attack anymore. And so didn't have a single shot in the second half. Decided to sit in, decided to defend, and considered a goal from just late defending from Varane, but at the end of the day, it was actually Luke Shaw because Luke Shaw was all the way tucked in with Maguire for whatever reason and left his man to cut in the cross, and then he deflected the cross that did go in front of Varane for the Young Boys player to tap it into the back of the net, and 1-1. Still we didn't attack. We still after failing to keep them out, we still didn't attack. We had 25 minutes to show a little bit of testicular fortitude, but we decided not to. And at the end of the day, we got what we deserved. Jesse Lingard with a I don't even know if I should call that a back pass. A beautiful assist. Unfortunately for him, it was an assist to the Young Boys player and a tidy finish pass David De Gea. And like I said, Young Boys 2, Manchester United 1. Manchester United bottom of the table in Group F right now. Of course, Sevilla and Villarreal haven't played yet, but yeah, Man United have lost against the worst team in the group again, just like they did against Istanbul Başakşehir last season. People were calling for more changes. Well, there's your change. Victor Lindelof comes in and surprise, surprise. Surprise, our first defeat of the season. Victor Lindelof's first game of the season, really. I mean, of course, he did play against Leeds United, but like I said, Leeds United is an outlier. But yeah, it's our first proper game with Lindelof, and sure enough, the 2-1 from 1-0 up. Ronaldo got us off to a start. I probably should have talked about that. Ronaldo got us off to a great start. 13 minutes in, I was in a video actually. You can see my predictions video. Check that out. That was my video before this. I was doing my predictions video, and Ronaldo scored, and I'm like, oh, we're on it. We're 13 minutes in, 1-0 up already. Looks like a standard. I predicted 2-0, so I'm like, standard 2-0 victory. We're gonna get another one on the breakup probably because we're just gonna sit back. I still knew, like, he can give an excuse and say because we got a red card, but I knew he was gonna play that way because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I wanted to save this to the end, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you're a coward. You're a coward, and it's time for you to leave this club because you're a coward. The fact that you're still at this club, knowing that you're not good enough, and proclaiming and deceiving yourself that you're a legend at this club, it proves to me that you're a coward anyway. But your tactics and the way you've played since you took charge of this job permanently in April of 2019 has just confirmed and affirmed to me that you're a coward. You're a coward. That's just it. You can't go down to 10 men against a team that is not on your level, and just because you went down to 10 men, you decide that, oh yeah, you know what, actually, we're not going to attack again. We didn't have a single shot after that. I believe that, we didn't have a single shot after the red card. 35 minutes in. We had 65 minutes after that, and we didn't have a single shot against Young Boys. Non-acceptable. I don't care about the red card. Now, I was thinking, it's difficult because you can see that goal. You can see that you can see that goal from shoddy defending from Luke Shaw. But at the end of the day, you're the one that set up your team. Why is your wing back all the way tucked in at the left center back position? When you have a left center back, you have a center back, you have a right center back, and you have a right wing back. You're playing 5 at the back for no reason at all, other than the fact that you can because you have three center backs that you believe are world class, even though Lindelof is nowhere near on the level of playing for Man United. So you decide to play 5 at the back for no reason at all, even though we already depleted in midfield. You decide to play 5 at the back, and then you deplete us even more in midfield. Take off Donny van de Beek, who was actually holding possession now, because it helped us a little bit more going forward. and we only actually broke on them one time, and Ronaldo should have taken the shot, but then he went down looking for a penalty for no reason. And yeah, at the end of the day, we did it to ourselves, and we got exactly what we deserved. Though we deserved to lose that game today. We deserved it. We deserved to lose the game against Southampton. We deserved to lose the game against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and we deserved it for the third time, and third time lucky. Third time lucky for this team, because they've been waiting to lose the game this season with the just poor attitude, poor mentality, and that's just it. And you have such a great team. You have so much quality. Like I said, on the bench, ridiculous quality in the starting 11. And they found a way. 13 minutes in, you're cruising in the game. Not really doing too much in terms of putting young boys under pressure anyway. But you're cruising in the game. I mean, yeah, 35 minutes in, we only had 2 shots. We only had 2 shots, and we had scored a goal from the 2 shots. So it's not like we were pressuring them and knocking the halves down or anything. We were just playing an efficient game. And then Wan-Bissaka dives into a tackle, nowhere near our box, nowhere in danger, for no reason at all, but only just because he overran the ball. He decides to recklessly go in, and yeah, let's get out of the way. That's a red card. That's a red card. I don't want to hear anything. That's a red card. There's no way you're going to go into a player like that. You're endangering the safety of the opposition. That's a red card. No question about that. So yeah, we give away a red card, and then this man decides, you know what, we're not going to attack anymore. We're not going to try to win the game anymore. Let's just defend. And we consider going halfway through the second half, and he decides, you know what, actually, we're still going to defend. We're still going to try and keep a point against Young Boys. That's good enough anyway. No way, no circumstances that good enough. And then we would have even, maybe we would have given a pass. It's an away game. All the sympathizers. It's an away game. We got a red card. He couldn't have he couldn't have accounted for that red card for Wan-Bissaka. And that's true. He couldn't have, because that's just reckless and that's petulant from our Wan-Bissaka. There's nothing that he could have done about that. But there's something that he could have done about that performance after that red card. That was unacceptable. That's a disgrace. The fact that United is still losing games because this man is a coward is a disgrace. And the fact that he's still at the club, even though he's clearly not up to the job, is a disgrace to this club. It is a disgrace. It's a soul in our name. It really is. And you can sit there and you can think he's a legend, but he's not a legend. It doesn't matter what he did in 1999 anymore. It doesn't matter what he did for the club coming off the bench. It doesn't matter anymore. Your legacy has been tarnished by the fact that you refused to let go, of the fact that you're not ready for this job. You're not good enough to have a job as Manchester United manager. You're just not. And it's not about being aggressive. It's not about being insulting. It's not about being anything abusive or anything. You're just not good enough for this job. You're just not. And the fact that you're still at the job is upsetting. It really is. It's unbelievable, really, that they've let it come this far, and they're still going to continue to let it go this far, because there's going to be an excuse. They're going to say, oh, there was a red card. That's not the point. The fact that we lost this game, if we would have played our game and we would have got counted twice, or would have there's a way to get beat. There's a way to get beat when you got a red card. There's a way to get beat when you're down to 10 men. There's a way to get beat away from home. And we've lost games before. We've lost games, and I was like, I'm never happy when we lost. I've been like, you know what? At the end of the day, it happens. That can't happen. That cannot happen. You cannot decide to defend a 1-0 lead from the 35th minute and then still lose the game. That's unacceptable. You cannot. If you're going to defend, you got to win the game. Then we can be like, you know what, that wasn't a good enough tactic, but at least you still won. If you're gonna defend an entire for 65 minutes, if you're gonna do it, then you better be successful. Because if you're a manager of Manchester United and you don't get the win, you don't get a draw, you lose the game away from home against the worst team in your group, then yeah, unfortunately that's what you get. And we started Group F. We started our group last season with 6 points out of 6 with an away victory at PSG, and we started this season with a 2-1 loss away from home against the worst team in our group. So we're even going backwards. And you're telling me that this is the manager that's supposed to take with Varane and with Sancho and with Ronaldo. Sancho, who by the way he took off, he dragged off in the first half, and then Van der Beek, who we dragged off at halftime. For Fred, and he left Pogba in that game. Pogba was not a player to leave in that game, because Pogba was not going to be giving us the amount of work rate that we needed in that game based on the fact that we got a red card. Pogba became a luxury player in that game, as did Bruno Fernandes, and you have Ronaldo. You cannot afford to have 3 of those players in the team. That's you taking out Sancho. The excuse would be, oh well, you don't want a luxury player, but you have Ronaldo and you have Pogba and you have Fernandes. They're all luxury players in that situation, because they're not going to do the work. And the only player who you have doing the work who's not, a defender, will be Fred. Fred, he's not good enough. There's no way that you can leave Fred in that team and then leave those other players around. And then yeah, he tried to bring up Matic and but then he took off Fred anyway. And then he brought on Jesse Lingard, who, well, surprise, thanks for that. You know what? There you go. And there's nothing more to say. You know, it is what it is, I guess, because he's still going to be the manager of Manchester United. He's still going to be there next week. He's going to be there when we play West Ham. He's going to be there when we play City. He's going to be there when we play Liverpool. There's always going to be an excuse for why we lose against these teams, why we didn't show any commitment at all in the semi-final against Man City in the Carabao Cup last season, why we didn't show anything in that final against Villarreal after equalizing early in the second half, why we couldn't win that game. There's always an excuse. There's always a reason. Oh, they played this way. Oh, we had this. Oh, this happened. There's always a justification for why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a failure. But that's just it. There's no justification. The answer is he just is a failure. And he's just not good enough. And we need a manager that actually can be successful with his team. And until we make that change, guess what? We're going to have matches like this. That's just it. You know, we're going to have matches where our team decides to not attack, and we're sitting there, are we watching Manchester United or are we watching United of Manchester? Because I think United of Manchester would have actually played a better game against Young Boys today than what we produced. I think our under-23s would have played a better game in terms of, at least, not that, I don't think they may have got a better result, but they would have played a better game. That's the whole point. It's not even about the result anymore. You know, you lost the game anyway, so it doesn't even matter it doesn't matter about the result anymore. You performed so cowardly, and then you still lost the game. If you would have been a coward and you would have won, we would have been like, okay, well, at least you won the game. You know, it's not good enough a performance like we did against Wolves. It's not good enough. But yeah, those guys should have been like, well, what are you talking about? What are you complaining about? This is what we're complaining about. Those of you who criticize people for complaining about the Southampton game and the Wolverhampton Wanderers game and the Newcastle United game, this is what we were talking about, because it's not sustainable. Like I said in the Newcastle game review, it is not sustainable to continuously play terrible and get results. It just isn't sustainable. Statistically speaking, it just wouldn't happen. You know, at some point your luck is gonna run out, because it is lucky, and at some point you're gonna get what you deserve. And we did today. You know, we did today. At the end of the day, yeah, it's a last minute goal, and it's a shocking back pass from Lingard, if you want to call it that. But at the end of the day, we deserved to lose that game. And we got what we deserved. If they were more clinical than they ended up being, we would have actually been losing that game way before that back pass. At the end of the day, you know, 2-1. Well, yeah, you know, it is what it is. And yeah, I'm going to be out because I got to do another player ratings video. I think I'm going to try and do the review for the Premier League Week 4 video today as well. I'm going to try my best to do that. I don't know. I can't even be sad. I can't be mad. I mean, of course, I've gone on a rant today, but I can't act like I'm surprised, because I'm not surprised. At the end of the day, I cannot, like, they cannot steal my joy in this occasion, because it's not surprising that we've lost this game against Young Boys. It is not surprising. United will always find a way to make things difficult for themselves. You got a 13-minute platform. You have Ronaldo in your team. You got Bruno Fernandes. You got Paul Pogba. You got Sancho. You got Donny van de Beek getting his first start of the season, and you still contrive to lose that game. You still find a way to lose that game. In a game where, you know, you had no business being in trouble in that game, based on the Young Boys couldn't even finish their dinner. They couldn't, and they still were able to beat us. So it is what it is. You know, hopefully we can turn it around in the next 5 games. We still got 5 games in the group, so hopefully we can do better than we did. Because from the last 5 games, last time we only got, was it 9 points? I think I might be giving us more points. I think we only got 6 points from the last 5 games last season in the Champions League. So hopefully we can get more than 6. Because if we get 6 points, we're out for sure. We might not even make the group stage, the round of 32 of Europa League. And to be honest with you, I rather, if we're gonna be kicked out, I rather we finish bottom of the group. I rather we finish 4th. Then if we're not gonna win this group, I'd rather we finish 4th, to be honest with you. I don't want to finish 2nd, because you know we're gonna get Bayern Munich or Barcelona, whoever wins that, or we're gonna get PSG, or we're gonna get a difficult group, and we're gonna be out in round of 16 anyway. So what's the whole point of qualifying 2nd in the group that has Villarreal, Atalanta, and Young Boys? Like, that's not good enough anyway. I don't care about a red card. I don't care about any of that. The fact is, we were cowards today, and we deserved to lose that game. We were cowards, and at the end of the day, that's on the manager, because he's the one who was the bigger coward. The biggest coward today was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And yeah, Wan-Bissaka didn't help his team, and we will go over that in the player ratings. He didn't help his team today. Didn't give us the platform that he. We should never be going in for that tackle, because there's no need to go in for that tackle. But at the end of the day, the reaction to the red card, there's the same thing we did against Tottenham. They almost scored. Like, Young Boys almost scored as soon as we got the red card. The same thing happened against Tottenham last season when we lost 6-1. As soon as we got the red card with Martial, we immediately conceded. Like, you don't always, like, somebody has to tell this guy, you don't have to fall apart just because you have a red card. You have to still be able to organize your team. You have to be able to set up your team. You have to be able to calm them down and get them focused again. You don't have to fall apart just because you got a red card. And that's what we did. And we fell apart, and we couldn't even get anything together. We tried to defend for whatever reason against a team that was still inferior to us, even with the red card. They were still not on our level, and we didn't do anything about it. So you know what? It is what it is. Yeah, I'm gonna be out because the Barcelona Bayern Munich game is about to start. Might as well watch a good game. You gotta flush down when you've eaten like a bad batch of fruit. You gotta flush it down with something sweet. So that's hopefully what I'm going to try and do with this Bayern Munich Barcelona game. And yeah, like I said, I can't even be sad. I can't be mad. The fact is, it is what it is. It's not surprising. And I'm going to be out. Thanks for watching. Peace.